What if the world around you is not what you think it is? Today I want to show you 10 strange facts, mind experiments, and hidden psychological tricks that will make you question your senses. And in the end, I'll tell you what I personally think about all of this. Let's start. Imagine this. You walk into a room, and before you notice anything, your brain already scanned everything in less than half a second. Science says your eyes see only about 1% of what's actually in front of you. The rest is your brain guessing. So when you think you're seeing the real world, you're actually seeing the world your brain invented. My opinion? Reality is more like a mental projection than something solid. Here's a strange fact. Your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and memory. That's why people confidently remember things that never happened. It's also why you can imagine something so vividly that your body reacts, heart rate changes, muscles tighten, pupils shrink. I think imagination is one of the most dangerous and powerful tools humans have. Did you know that humans are the only species that can mentally time travel? Not physically, of course, but your mind can jump to the future, rewrite your past, and simulate thousands of realities in seconds. But there's a catch. The brain treats imagined problems like real ones. That's why you can stress about things that didn't even happen yet. Personally, I think most people suffer more from imaginary futures than from real life. Now something even stranger. Scientists discovered that your brain shows signs of information processing hours before you consciously think of something. For example, your brain might already know that you're going to quit your job months before you decide it. It shows in body language, stress patterns, and even sleep cycles. My take: your subconscious mind is always one step ahead of you. Let's talk about something fun, your perception of time. Did you know that time moves slower when you're experiencing something new? That's why childhood feels long, and adulthood feels fast. When everything becomes routine, your brain stops recording memories, so years feel shorter. I think the secret to living a long life is simply doing new things often. Here's a psychological trick. Try remembering the face of someone you love. If you can see it clearly, it means your emotional memory is dominant. If you can't, your brain works more logically than emotionally. And no, it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means your brain is wired differently. In my opinion, emotional memory is a superpower for creativity, while logical memory is a superpower for stability. Let's go deeper. Your brain is constantly deleting information. In fact, it forgets on purpose to keep you sane. If you remembered every detail of your life, every noise, every smell, every moment, you would go insane in days. Forgetting is a survival mechanism. And honestly, I think forgetting is just as important as learning. Here's a shocking scientific fact: your personality is not stable. You don't have one personality, you have multiple versions of yourself, and your brain switches between them depending on environment, people, emotions, and goals. The version of you at work, at home, with friends, and alone are different neurological profiles. My opinion: people are not one thing. We're a whole collection of selves. Now imagine this scenario. What if every thought you have creates a micro-path in your brain? Because that's actually true. Repeating the same thoughts literally carves physical roads in your brain. That's why habits are so hard to break. Your brain gets addicted to the path it already built. In my opinion, changing your life means changing your neural roads one step at a time. Here's a mind experiment. Look around right now and count 5 objects that are circles. This forces your brain into the present moment instantly. Your attention shifts, your breathing changes, and your stress drops. It's simple, but extremely effective. I use this technique whenever I feel overwhelmed, and it works every time. Now let's talk about something shocking. Your brain can create pain that doesn't exist. People with phantom limb syndrome feel real pain in arms or legs that are no longer there. The brain is not trying to trick them, it just doesn't know the limb is gone. That's how powerful your mind is. Personally, this fact proves that reality is at least 50% mental. Here's one more strange idea. You never experience the present moment. Everything you see, hear, and feel is delayed by up to 200 milliseconds while your brain processes it. So the now you think you're living in is actually the past. I think this delay is small, but symbolic. It shows that even reality arrives late. Now my conclusion. Most people live without realizing how powerful their mind is. They think the world shapes them. But the truth is, your brain shapes the world you see. It edits, it deletes, it creates illusions, and it writes stories that feel completely real. Understanding how your mind works gives you control, real control. And once you see the world through this perspective, nothing looks the same again. What about you? Which fact made you rethink the most?